Alright, so it is
Car is ready and waiting.
Christmas Eve, and amongst other problems, there's water coming into the computer lab. So I guess somebody's going to come out and take a look at that later on today. So one of the things I did this morning, and I'm going to check and make sure that this setting took, is I took all the force feedback out of the wheel. So one of the, let's see, one of the things I'd forgotten I'd done is, I'd been very specific about going back and resetting all of the dead zone and saturation settings back to, oh, no, yeah, setting these back to default. I think they are, yeah, so they were set at default. But what I'd forgotten I had done was I jacked all the force feedback stuff up to like 100%, including force weight and effect strength and all that. I think that what that may have done is it may have further dampened my inputs. So it would have made getting very, kind of small, minute inputs into the car more difficult. So I had a better run this morning after making that change. I'm going to see if that's going to stick. And the next thing I might try is I may try turning off either traction control or stability control and seeing if that... so right now I've got two problems. I feel like the car is fighting me to get into a drift, even on car models that should drift fairly easily. And I'm getting some really kind of twitchy straightening back up of the car, even when I have the wheel held over in a turn. So that could be a driver problem, but it shouldn't be. So I'm just wondering if traction control or stability control are trying to right the car too quickly. At least too quickly based on my particular driving style. So I think I've got everything set up. I think what I do want to do is change up my livery.
Teammates, select sponsors, and change your race brand and colors.
Yep. Okay. I do also desperately need a drink. I do desperately need to drink a Red Bull to get through this afternoon, so unfortunately I will not be able to mute my mic while I'm doing that. So there'll be a little slurpy sounds going on. I apologize for that. So we can't afford Pro, Muscle, or Club GT. Pro Tuned, or Touring Car Challenge. I guess we'll just stick with Classic Muscle. We'll take the... Oh, what am I doing? I think it said I had 4 flashbacks. Pedals are a little off. A little to the left. Oh man, it's immensely better than the experience I've had so far. Yeah, now I feel like it's driving. Wow. Yeah, now I feel like it's driving like it does with the 360 controller. Ugh, this is wonderful in comparison. Now that I let myself get a little too far into the corner. It looks... Looks like I actually get a braking warning indicator in the lower left-hand corner. Whoa. Alright. I was a little banged up, but not too bad. Yeah, what happened there was everybody in front of me just kind of checked up way faster on the brakes a lot sooner than I had anticipated. I almost got to the back end of about 3 different cars back there. Alright, so lots of the AI are hitting the wall barriers on a lot of these corners. Yeah, without the force feedback being cranked up like it was, the car recovers a lot faster when I make an error. So I'm in 7th on the second lap now. What I'm still a little tepid about is getting fully on the gas and still not turning perfectly. So the best placing I've made with the wheel and pedals has been about 6th. I think I've had... Maybe I've come in 3rd once, but I certainly haven't been... The damage is still okay, even though that was a pretty solid collision. I think I'm also able to lean in more and get better sighting going into the turn because I'm not fighting the wheel so much. Good turn there. And also because I'm not fighting the wheel so much, I'm able to get on the double pedals a lot better. So the key is to really firm up my feel for the wheel and pedals on this lap if I hope to come in better than 5th.
Nice work. You're now in 5th place.
Like I said, the wheel feels good now, but what I'm really trying to get a better feel for now is the back end.
Currently, Ravenwest are out in front.
Man. Yeah, it's still holding me up going into turns. Got past one guy there. I'm pretty certain I can hold on to this to keep 4th. So here comes a crackback turn. This is about a 120-degree turn. Still haven't gotten that good, but I have snuck up into a podium finish. Very hard to fend off the AI when you are not in the in-cockpit view because you have to button press to get a rear view. I think I got it. Yeah, so I think I figured it out. Just that it was... force feedback was way too high. Okay.
Leader, take him down.
Let's see if I can get the pedals over a bit. So everything's a little more centered up. Another thing on these tracks, man, is these muscle cars are so wide that really reduces the amount of room there is to make a pass on anybody. And of course the AI cars are always much faster in a straight line. The only way to really make a pass on somebody is to out-corner them.
Okay, you've moved into ninth.
Okay, 4 cars passed right there. Yeah. AI likes to just run over you going into their own turn.
Currently, Ravenwest are out in front.
Not too shabby. I've been moved up through half the field in the first lap. Just really trying to...
You're looking at a 2-second gap for third place. Marcus Brooks is directly ahead of you now.
Pretty significant gap between me and third. Oh man, I ran it way too hard. Hopefully I've got enough room to get that back off a flashback. And I feel like I'm completely doing a granny around these corners, but after that wreck, I hate to get in one of these corners and push it too hard. Come on. And I was really hoping I could get inside that guy on the turn, since he was being a lot more conservative.
That was a great lap.
Alright. There we go. That Plymouth is a lot faster in a straight line, so it's tough to figure out just where to outbrake him. So yeah, I think as bad as I am about braking too late, I'm also bad about not just jamming and wailing away on the throttle soon enough, because I'm being too cautious. So final lap. Really need to get on the throttle to get past this guy.
Another win for Ravenwest.
Yeah, couldn't catch him.
A podium finish. Not too shabby.
Still 2/3 in a row is a lot better than the between 6th and 12th where I've been placing. So I'm pretty certain for the rest of this session, I'm gonna just keep the force feedback turned off, and then maybe over the next few sessions I'll try ramping it back in. I didn't see on that screen where there was any option to just reset it to default, so I'm not really sure where it normally lies as far as that saturation and force weight and force strength settings go. Well, not saturation because that's in the driving style thing, but yeah, weight and effort. Not too bad. $100,000 payday. New sponsors.
Don't you think we should start signing new sponsors who bring in more money?
Yep. I'll put these guys in the first minor slot. Those guys there. Head into the next race event. Also, because I haven't won that one, stock car. So we got enough to.
There are basically no rules. The winner is the first car to cross the line, by any means necessary.
Look, if you're going to race, you need a car.
Alright, wasn't expecting to do Demolition Derby this afternoon, but
Okay, there are no prizes for technical driving here. Smash your way to the front and stay there.
Welcome to the Michigan All-Comers Demolition Derby.
so the deal here is 6 laps. Anything goes. I can tell I'll be replaying this event again. Highly unlikely that I'll get a come from behind win at this point. I'm far more likely to be T-boned going across one of these intersections. Although I am catching number 11 up here. Actually, that number 10 in sight as well. And there's nothing you can really do about that concern about being T-boned. It's not like there's any point in looking both ways before you cross the street, so it's just a matter of complete matter of taking your chances.
Kevin Hartford has crashed into
actually caught up to a pretty good chunk of the pack, so I'm now in 8th after being in dead last. But I am on the last lap, so again, still pretty unlikely that I'll get myself to a podium finish. Just be happy if I get across the line without getting in a major wreck. A lot of wheel input needed to get around this track. Ugh.
Okay, there are no prizes
All right.
for driving here. Smash your way to the front and stay there.
I think this is the exact same track, maybe just in reverse. Ugh. Major pile up here. I really got held up by 2 or 3 cars in there. That's probably the best instance of taking a guy down the inside of a turn. Funny that it would happen on Demolition Derby. Not doing too bad right now in 6th place. That'll be a good part of the highlight reel. That actually put me into 3rd. Just because basically everybody from 5th, I don't know, 3 or 4 cars that were in the lead were all stacked up in that wreck. Actually in 2nd now. And I can actually... I can actually see the leader, but there's no... Oh, actually I'm not too bad off. I'm in 3rd. But there's probably no chance of me winning unless first gets caught up in a really big wreck. I can probably hold on to what I got. Misread the track there. Spun out. Okay. The guy ahead of me spun, so probably still going to be able to make podium. It's weird to me on this track because the speeds aren't too high, so you would think that the tires wouldn't come off that much in the later laps, and it's only 3 laps, so it feels weird to me that the rear end feels like it starts to go out into the 3rd lap, but that might be the acceleration model in tire wear going on.
Say goodbye to Howie Stepperman.
I'm still in 3rd, so it doesn't sound like anybody who was ahead of me has been taken out. Survived that one. Going into the last lap. Oh. I was hoping that that was 2nd. This might be a guy. Nope. Well, everybody that I've gone around
You finished. Not too shabby.
would much rather play Demolition Derby than drift events.
We made it to 100,000. Keep it up.
Let's go over to the European circuit. And we can get into the Club
Going to
GT
race,
round.
you need a car.
So I think one of the tracks in this series is going to be Donington. It's the first track.
But watch out for him.
So good thing is this is a track that I'm hugely familiar with, since it's been in several racing games that I've played, maybe dozens of racing games that I've played in the last 15 years. Does not mean that I will do well, since we just pretty significantly changed up the car model that I'm driving. I'm still working on getting down how to best work the wheel and pedals in this game. Man, a lot of cars in the field here, 20 cars. Okay, with these settings, I'm really liking being able to double pump the gas and brake. I didn't expect that guy to brake right in my face like that and not come off his line.
Nice slipstreaming.
Good, nice, he spun out. I was bound and determined to get a little revenge on him. So we're on to lap 2. It's pretty clear sailing on the front half of the track right now. It's going to take me a while to walk down 6, 5, and 4 up there. Except 6 looks like he got a little caught out on the track. Yeah, really pushed it into that last corner. Trying to catch 6, 5, and 4 up as much as I could.
On your last lap.
I'm gonna have to continue. Oh, okay, good, good, good. We lost one of the pack up ahead there. He spun himself out.
Hey, you've taken over 6th place.
I think what I'm going to have to do, this is part of the artificiality of the game, is really push and rely on my 4 flashbacks, none of which I've used yet, to take care of any errors that I've made.
Think a driver is
Alright, so there's one more position.
Paolo Maggio.
Yeah, now I'm wishing I'd driven a little more aggressively in the first 2 laps. Really kind of held off trying to be conservative and looking at, this is probably my, nope. Yeah, that was my last shot.
We'll take this one. Keep up the great
Oh well.
This driver's at the top of the event.
Okay, we're back at Donington.
Gotta beat him.
I don't know if we're on this. Much better start this time. Yeah. 20th? 18th place? Just as bad as being in 20th.
Someone spun out. Whoa. I think it's Yodegret Becky. Lumination are leading the race.
Now this is maybe arguably one that I should have started over, but it's a ridiculously aggressive maneuver just to get from 17th to 16th. Yeah, I'm definitely hitting a point where I'm locking the brakes up, or locking the tires up. It's really hurting me in the corners. I'm probably just blipping the brakes. Feels like one time too many in the corners. Alright, nice. Barely held that together.
Nice maneuver.
I thought I was just off that guy's rear bumper. Well, that time I locked up the tires almost intentionally. Just so I could dive down really hard on a perfect corner, but it did put me in right behind that guy. Nice. He's off the track.
Okay, you've got 10th place.
Yeah, still it's taken me 2 laps to recover 8 positions, and I've got 1 lap left. I mean, the best that I could probably hope for is 6th, and that's still pretty far-fetched. Yeah, and not the smoothest turn there. I got 3 pursuers who might make a run. Yeah, because I've taken those turns in traffic the last 2 times. I really just don't have a feel for these. Oh well. So I came in 10th there, but I definitely can't say that that was because of the wheel and pedals. So I think tuning out that force feedback was definitely the linchpin. That's definitely the one thing that's the one setting that was different in GRiD versus how I've been playing Dirt 3 Complete Edition. So it seems like a logical explanation for that difference. so that's going to be it for this session. We go ahead and put a wrap on the video, and I'll